I sort of lied. We're cracking up. And actually, I forgot to mute myself on
You always do.
I always do. There we go. I just did. Wait, am I muting? I'm mute. Okay. Totally unprofessional beginning, everybody. Who cares? It's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want. All right. So we are here today with my video bomber made an early appearance. Say hello, Raven.
Hi.
And with my very special guest, Mary MANCHIN.
Hello. Okay.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am awesome. So you are a post-production coordinator for Supernatural.
I am.
Yes, she is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about lots of stuff. We had a great conversation right before we went live. I wish we were kind of live before, because then again, there's some things maybe we shouldn't have been live for. But we had a great conversation. What I want, and I just wanted to tell you, if I'm looking this way, it's because my cheat sheet questions are on this monitor. And if I'm looking this way, it's because I have my chat window up over here that I'm moderating. So it's not that I'm not paying attention.
Maybe I should have the chat.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I said maybe I should have the chat thingy up too. Can I see it?
No. If you go to YouTube, you'll see it, but it might be better if you let me moderate it for you, because
sometimes
people say things. This way, I could be your bulletproof shield.
Oh,
I will be your bulletproof shield. Even though everybody in the chat window will be very well behaved, right?
Like, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
I need scissors.
You need to not be here right now. I love you. Get out of here. She's making a sign.
No.
That I'm not allowed to see. Okay, so the first question. So tell us, what is it, Raven, that's so noisy that if Mary talks, we can't see her? Okay, so what is a typical day for you like? Why don't you walk us through a day in the life?
So it kind of varies day to day, honestly. It goes from, like, in the mornings, I typically do invoices. I deal with ADR and ICN, which, do you know what those are?
No.
So ADR is automated dialogue replacement. ICN is like the same thing, but if it's like international. And what I'll have to do is we'll watch the show. So we have the show go through like up to like 7 cuts, and we eventually get to one point that we really like, and I schedule a meeting and watch it all with like the composer and everything, and we figure out what type of music we need, what kind of lines that need to be said, like if a line wasn't said before, or if something had happened, like the mic got broken up. The actor will then have to come in, and then I get to see them, which is a lot of my tweets. I'm like, hey guys, so Courtney's with me today. But yeah, no, so they'll redo lines, and it makes the sound improved, which is mainly what I focus on a regular basis, is making sure the music and the visual effects and the sound of the actors and their microphones are like perfect and crisp, so you guys understand what they're saying. Yeah, and then we'll sometimes get like notes from the studio and network of like, well, we would like it if they said this instead. So then we have to like recut it and then like make it a little bit like a little more comprehensible. So like if somebody didn't watch a previous episode or something, we can have it come back and they're like, yes, there we are.
Also for like continuity purposes as well? Oh, interesting. Okay.
So like if we had to cut, like if we cut the episode and there was something that happened before that we weren't able to capture in the previous, or in that episode that we're shooting, then we'll find a way to either have a flashback or find a line or have them reloop a line to have have more continuity. So there's not as big of a gap between the two.
That's cool.
Yeah. I also do recap and flashback memos. So with that, so for example, you know how you'll see a bunch of cuts in the recap? You'll see like a frame of somebody, and then it goes to that one, and then there's a voiceover, somebody else doing something. I have to make sure that everybody gets paid for that. So every actor gets paid to be in the recap. And then if they're in the flashback, they also get paid. And if there's a photograph of them anywhere in the episode, they also get paid. So I have to go like scene by scene, frame by frame, and to make sure that I've captured everybody and that everybody's accounted for, so I can make sure that they get paid and they don't get screwed over. Yeah, I schedule meetings. I take notes in the meetings to make sure everything goes well. I make sure that the editors are all taken care of. They have all the footage that they need. I also watch the dailies because, especially this season, I've watched all the dailies, every scene, every angle, every take, because to make sure everything was going well, but also to make sure that we had stuff for the gag reel. So I collected all the material for the gag reel, and for this season, we had 47 pages worth of material.
Oh.
The boys just like to mess around.
No, not Jensen and Jared.
What is this
They're
mess?
so professional.
I know, so professional. What are you talking about? Yes, and so last season, because I came in during season 11, like halfway through season 11, I was a PA for like 4.5 months, and then I got promoted to coordinator for season 12. And both times I got to do the gag reel intro, which has now kind of been put in with everything I do. So I get to be more creative on that side. Also, I deal with shaving people punting things, making sure we get clearances for everybody that shows in that, as well as doing the opening and ending titles. And I manage our PA and make sure she's doing her task. But that's just like a random, like a gist of what I do. It's whatever the execs give me on top of everything, I deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So So I know as of late, just you and I talking, trying to schedule the interview, that you've been pulling some insane hours.
Yes.
Like 12, 14, 16-hour days.
Yeah. So on average, I will be working 12 hours a day. With the finale, because all of it got squished up together, so we lost a week with episode 23. I was working 20-hour shifts, and we were also working weekends, and that was just to make sure that everything got done in time and to make sure everything was all good for when you guys watch it. But yeah.
You see how hard she works for us. Mary works for your happiness, damn it. Appreciate it.
I do.
And I'm going to take a look in the chat window really quickly because it's blowing up. Anita Resnick is a good friend of mine. She's asking if you would be able to say when we'll be able to see the gag reel. So
you'll be able to see the gag reel in September. You'll also be able to see it at Comic-Con. You will get a little taste of it. I think I can say that soon. You'll be able to get my part of it. I actually did an extended version of the intro for you guys, which will be really soon. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're also very well known for food porn, according to Mishi, my friend Mishi, and Anita also.
Well, yes. That actually started with Jason. he would call and then he would kind of challenge me. So while his are catered, mine are all like homemade meals. So we can compete with each other on that, and it actually gives me a push to make more than just like plain old chicken and maybe like a salad. It is fun. It is fun. God, yeah.
Oh, Mishy, she said gag reel, not gadreel. We love you though.
We love you. So fun. So those come in hand. Gadreel, gagreel.
Gadreel, gag reel. It's yeah. They both yeah.
What's Gabriel?
Gabriel, he was the angel that possessed Sam. Would you stop it? Okay, so Raven wanted me to show you this. It reads, Mary, you rock, you can do this. So apparently my daughter thinks you need a support system to get through an interview with me. And you can do this. You'll earn a chip after this.
Oh
And
my.
a rainbow. And a smiley face and a heart and what is that?
A face?
It's a face that what's that on the bottom of it?
It's a mouth.
It's just a mouth. Okay.
I love it. Thank you, Raven.
Yay!
I'm a little shy.
What?
I'm a little shy.
You're a little shy?
Yeah.
Anita is asking, what is the tat on your left wrist? My left wrist or Mary? Mary, I know, has tats also. If it's my left wrist,
Oh yeah, what's yours?
Mine is a symbol that means new beginnings. And will you put the scissors down? Oh my God, I swear. She's doing this because there's a camera in front of us and she knows I can't do it. So yeah, it means new beginnings, and it's a reminder for me that you can have a new beginning at any moment, in any time. You don't have to wait. You can create a new beginning whenever you want there to be. So, and you have several tattoos.
Oh yes, I have them everywhere. In my ear, behind my ear.
I thought that was one in your ear. I'm like, damn, I want that. What? Tell me the ear one. I want the ear one.
The one in my ear is butterflies. I don't know if you can really see it. They actually represent my great-grandmother and my grandmothers on both sides, because every time that I would go see them, they would give me a butterfly, like one way or another, like butterfly earrings, butterfly bracelet. And so since one of my grandmothers and my great-grandmother passed away, I decided to get butterflies for them. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But, yeah. And then the one on my left wrist is birds. So it represents family, and then, like, kind of darker, but, like, how everybody else kind of goes away, but family's always with you.
That's true. That's true. I love that. I was looking at bird tattoos also. There was one that was similar to yours, but they were smaller and more clustered, but I like the symbolism of yours. That's very
Thanks.
That's such a very true message, very strong message, and Raven is driving me crazy. I love you. God, go sit over there.
Gosh.
Oh. And stop laughing at her in the chat window because you're encouraging her. All right. And there's another Raven, a friend of mine, Raven Whitaker. And she's saying that everything in nature has such a precious meaning to me. I adore all of the meanings behind your tattoos.
What did you just say?
I'm sorry?
What did Raven just say?
What did you just say?
I said, what does that mean?
Oh, what does that mean? That means that she likes the meanings behind Mary's tattoos. She thinks that those meanings are very beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go sit. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I'm sitting here.
You're fine.
So we were talking earlier before we went live about whether you watched the show, whether you were a fan of the show before you started working on it. Why don't you tell everybody that story, because it's really cool.
Okay. So, guys, I was not a fan of the show before. No. Oh God.
Yes!
What have I done? Yeah, it had gotten to a point where I was watching a lot of other shows, honestly, and I didn't really know much about it.
Other shows? There's other shows on TV?
This is crazy. Yeah, and so I was working for a VFX house, and I was a VFX artist before I was working at Supernatural, and I was working on like Walking Dead and Arrow and all the superhero shows, and the environment wasn't the best, and so the clients knew that, and so they're like, the producer at Walking Dead was like, hey, we have a position, there's a position opening up at Supernatural, would you want to take it? It's away from VFX, but it's still in post, so you know. I was like, all right, sure. So I went on the interview, and they're like, oh, like, we'll tell you if, we'll get back to you. We'll keep in touch. Like the typical interview / Hollywood thing of like,
Exactly.
we'll keep in touch. And I'm like, all right. But so I got called back a couple hours later, and they're like, hey, if you want the job, like, you've got it. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I came in halfway through season 11. My first full episode was actually John Badham's episode, the submarine one. Yes.
The Whistle.
Yep. That was my first complete episode, and it's actually awesome because I have the script of that episode with John Badham. He signed it for me, hanging up on my wall. But yeah, so I had got on the show, and I was like, all right. And at this point, I'm a PA, and I'm completely different environments from what I was used to at my old job. And yeah, so I started watching the show, especially after I started to do recaps and flashback memos. And I was like, fuck, I have no idea who anyone is. And I'm like, I should probably really watch this show. And I had gotten caught up with everything, and I was like, I looked at my bosses, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I just watch the show while I'm here? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, of course, do it up. So I had burned through all, at that time, 10, and I'm watching 11 at the same time it's being made, all 10 seasons in like 2 months. And yeah, I was hooked. And it was great because like my bosses are around me, and they're like, oh, remember that time when we did this scene and that scene, and oh my God. I'm like, all right, guys. And their office is behind me, and I'm like, can you guys just like, shh, I'm in the show. Like, can you just like go? But they would keep coming back out and then putting their 2 cents in, which was entertaining. And yeah, so I became a fan of the show. I was not a fan of the show before, and it's just been a crazy ride. And I've appreciated every aspect of what I have gotten from the show, I gotta say.
So, who was the first main character that you met on the show?
First main character was Mark Sheppard. It was Crowley.
And what was that like?
It was good. I was intimidated because it's Mark Sheppard, and it was one of those things where he had come to the office to come visit. It's like, all right. And I had known him from other shows. And so he comes over, and everyone's just hanging around and chatting with him. And they're like, oh, by the way, this is our new PA, Mary. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. And like, at first when you meet me, I'm kind of shy. And so, especially with Mark Sheppard, I'm like, hi, it's great to meet you. And he's like, hi, great to meet you too. So are you a fan of the show? Have you seen the show? And I'm thinking like, oh, fuck. Like, at this point, I've only seen 1 episode. And he was not in it. And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, so you don't know who I am? And he's doing it in like a joking but like very Mark Sheppardy way. I was like, no, but like I knew you from like Doctor Who. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, you know, like you're in that one episode. That's one of my favorite shows. Like, he was like, I don't. And he was just so flustered. And then they just kind of kept the conversation going. I was like, yep, all right. All right. Great talk.
I'm sure you found that very refreshing.
I know. I'm sure he did.
To get recognized for his other work. Because I'm the opposite. I've never seen a damn thing that man's done outside of Supernatural. But
yeah.
Little Pop Workshop, who makes the most epic custom Funko Pops on the planet.
Awesome. They're so
right?
Good.
Oh my God. She made a pop of me. She popped me.
I saw that. Fantastic.
What? Oh, Raven, silly. You're doing. Will you sit down? Now she's trying because she's like standing behind the computer to make me laugh. Sit down. I can still ground your ass. Sit.
Ew.
Okay. So Little Pop Workshop is asking if you have a favorite season or a favorite episode.
I have to say season 1 is my favorite season because it was so dark. My favorite episode is the French Mistake. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. I was gonna say, do you like the French Mistake because of the behind the scenes?
Yes.
It's kind of like cutting away and yeah, okay.
I love
that's epic.
For that reason. And I was like, oh my God, it's telling our life story right now. But no, yeah, I love that so much. What about you? What's your favorite season and episode?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I think Little Pop Workshop can answer that for me right now. I am on a very, very strong Frontierland phase. Cowboy Dean, you know. Just
I mean,
you know.
who wouldn't like Cowboy Dean, you know?
I just love, the fact that episode exists, that and, oh my God, I'm like, forgive me for not remembering the name of the episode, but the episode where it's black and white and it's about the monster movies.
Yeah. That one's a great one too.
Right? Like the fact that those types of episodes even exist fuel my love for the show even more because they've broken out of cookie cutter formulaic ideas for the show and they reach out and try to do something creative and artistic and the writing, the acting, the behind the scenes, all of that has to mesh in order to make what we see. And I just have the utmost respect for the show. And to go back full circle, Cowboy Dean. Yeah, sorry.
Those type of episodes are like, that was like, oh yes, okay. I can see why this has been going on for 12 seasons. Wow. And that was like the thing of like working on the show and like meeting the cast and the crew is like, you can certainly see why this has been going on as long as it has, which is really cool.
Now she's got nail polish. So anyway, you get a different perspective than most people because you do get to see how it becomes something so polished and fit together, which is what the end product is from, what we get to see. But you get to appreciate all of the work that goes into it because you see the dailies, the raw footage, and you work with, pulling in the composers and if people need to re-record their voices, for example, and continuity and all that other stuff. Like all of that stuff you make happen, and it's transparent to us because all we see is this fucking amazing put together show with, all the pieces in place.
Yeah. It's
So,
interesting too because like, what were you gonna say?
oh no, go ahead.
It's cool too because like, even for me watching other shows, like, because like I can get that for a sense of like every other show. Because when I wasn't working on this show, I didn't appreciate it as much, especially because like, for example, all the sounds that you hear in the background are like they're Foley, like the footsteps, the clothes rubbing against each other is like that's everything that we do, and being able to see that in the process and watching them create the hellhounds behind the scenes is just so amazing and so cool that I wish everybody could witness that.
Wow. So I'm sorry. I got stuck on something you said. So something as, I don't know, so as microcosmic as the sound of fabric has to be taken into account.
Mm-hmm. Breathing.
Wow.
Breathing is taken into
Breathing.
Yep. For example, like in the Hellhound episode this season, that was the one that I got to go to the Foley stage for and watch them do everything. So like when the two the two teens are like out and they're camping and like all the jackets and the tents and everything that you're hearing, that's not on set. Like that's all made by us at post after the fact.
Oh, wow.
The birds and the crickets and everything you're hearing is all of that is done in post. Like almost everything is created after the fact or like amped up.
Oh, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, right. And I didn't think about that either until like working on the show, and I was like, whoa.
So not only does that give us, you know, a shit ton more respect for what you do, but it also gives us a shit ton more respect for what the actors do, because the actors don't hear and see a lot of those things. Those are added post-production, and I did not know that. I mean, there were obviously things that I knew happened post-production, you know, like the special effects kind of things,
Yeah.
but in terms of like the sounds and, you know, things like that, I had absolutely no idea. So their acting chops are even more ninja than what I thought they were, and what you do has just blown my mind completely. I really had no idea. I am so naive about how this works, and I'm just really, really blown away. And the chat window over here is going berserk.
It's crazy to think about it because you don't think about it when you're watching it, because it's those little details that even though like you're not picking up on it, all of a sudden you'll hear it and then you're like, oh shit. Like you notice it's missing, but when you don't notice it because it's so well done and put in that you're like, oh, that sounds right. Like it's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, wow. Yeah, people are saying that they'd love to be able to watch the Foley artists at work, and Anita's saying, if you ever want the sound of apple pie filling going into a pie tin, use dog food. That's what I did for a radio show on which she had worked on at the time.
Interesting.
Somehow, sound, yeah. The smell.
You're like, yes, this apple pie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So what was your favorite experience that you've had on the show to date?
Oh, God. There's so many things that have happened. I don't know. There's like one of them, I guess a lot of them would have to deal with being able to interact with fans as well as the cast and the Vancouver crew especially, because I don't get to see them much. Like if their lines are fine and we don't have any added lines or efforts, like I don't see the cast, which is why like I'll tweet them on like Twitter. I'm like, hey, like how's it going? Like I really enjoyed the conventions. Like I enjoy them because you get to see the actors in like their element outside of the show, like in a way, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you get to see the fans and how much they appreciate it, and everyone's always so nice. Like all the fans that I've met are incredible, and it's really cool to see how it brings everybody together, because working on other shows, although I didn't work on them long, it wasn't like, certainly the way that this has become a family is certainly, it can be shown in the other shows, but not to like this extent. Like this is very unique, which is really cool. And like when you get to have that experience at a convention and then say go to like Mark Sheppard's wedding, which was a lot of fun. And it just feels like one giant family there too, because even though everyone doesn't see each other that much, everyone's so welcoming and so just great with each other. It's awesome. But
that's basically, yeah, I mean, that's what anybody that I've ever spoken to, as far as cast and crew are concerned from Supernatural, they all say the same thing, that everybody treats each other like they're family, no matter where they are, no matter what the situation is, whether they're on set, whether they're offset at a convention, wherever, and everybody just genuinely loves each other. And that's a very unique situation.
It is, yeah, for sure.
Wow. So let me ask you this. For those of you who may not know, Mary is an amazing graphic designer. And she has a website, marymanchin.com, and I have her website link in the description to this video when it uploads to YouTube, so you'll be able to click on it. And her artwork is just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, and she specializes in the horror genre. So why don't you talk to us about your inspirations? What inspires you, and where do you get your ideas from?
Yeah, so my inspirations are really Dolly and Tim Burton. And yeah. And so there's this painting, I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. There's this painting when I was a kid, and it was very surreal, and if I can find it, I'll send it to you. But it was so colorful yet so weird, and it really made you think, and I was so drawn to it as a kid. And growing up, Tim Burton movies were my favorite. Nightmare Before Christmas, which, to answer any other questions, that is what is on my arm. Is Oogie. Oogie with Jack and the whole gang. And so, yeah, no, so my pieces come from really surrealism and like that dark sense of style. And I was always a darker child growing up. Where I was watching horror movies and watching Alfred Hitchcock as I grew up, in Disney movies occasionally, but more Hitchcock and all that fun stuff. But yeah, and so you're like, yeah. Yeah, and so I started to really get into the work that I enjoyed when I was in high school. I started to teach myself Photoshop in middle school, and then went into high school, and I was like, hey, I'm kind of really digging this. I can draw, but I kind of want to go more the Photoshop and like media arts type of way. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so they let me do contests and everything where I was getting like first place in the nation and like honorable mentions and stuff like that. And so I was like, I really enjoy these things. To which I went to school for computer art and animation. And from there, they wanted us to push ourselves to try two things we really like and push them a little bit farther. And so I enjoyed doing black and white photography in high school, and I was doing, my media arts teacher would get me freelance jobs of working at funeral homes where I would do photo touch-ups for like slides, so they weren't completely destroyed and like they didn't have like the cracks and all the pops and everything in them. And so working with those pieces, because I love history and I love the style and how it comes to that like piece of how that's just stuck in time. And I love surrealism, so I decided to start taking, for one of my projects, 1920s, 30s, and 40s images, and then making monsters and a past that no one has ever seen before, and then superimposing them so they look like they were still stuck in that time frame of back in the day, which is where I started to just get a kick and create what I create now. But yeah.
When you go to your website, just the main page is haunting. I mean, the music that you pair with the imagery is perfection. Where did you get the music from?
The music is a mixture of like public domain that I found, as well as I tweaked it and made my own with it. So it's like a mixture of two things combined, and then like I added projector sounds and all that fun stuff, so it felt more realistic. And the thing is that piece I had actually made with, it's not a telegraph, it's like one of the old-timey, I can't remember it right now what it's called, but one of those pieces where like you would look in and you'd like crank it and you'd see the animation happening, like the movie inside, like.
Oh yes, yes. They had one of those in The Conjuring, I think.
Yeah, it's like a, I can't remember what it's called, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had built my own, and so what I had done was I had made that, and then that piece that you saw on the website, would show as you were watching it inside the screen, and I had put like black velvet inside, so you were really like felt vulnerable, and I made it shorter than what it averagely is. So you would have to hunch over, and then on top of watching everything, you'd have the headphones on, hear the music, and you didn't know whether or not someone was behind you to scare the living hell out of you. And,
oh, beautiful.
And what I love doing as well is, I'm sure you started to catch on with it with the intro of the website, is all those pieces slightly move. And so, yes. And so I love doing things, and you'll really catch on when you see this year's gag reel intro. I love putting a lot of detail and making things to where you have to rewatch it over and over again, so then you start catching new things every time that you watch it. And that is like one of my trademarks, is to make sure you really appreciate the whole thing for what it is.
Oh, wow. Now I can't wait. I really can't wait. Destiny Whitaker, who is Raven Whitaker's sister, and also a dear friend of mine. She wrote, "Woohoo, as a fellow graphic designer and photographer, I must say you were the ultimate artistic genius and inspiration."
Aw, thanks.
Yeah. What else are people saying? I think they're having a little side conversation. Pay attention! You're not supposed to talk amongst yourselves. I love you. You talk amongst yourselves. But pay attention to us. So let me ask you this. And then as I'm writing the questions to you, after I wrote this question, I'm like, okay, this is like the most like ultimate job interview question. But where do you see, what would you like to be doing 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself going?
And this is a total stretch, but I would like to be a creative executive producer for a horror show. Because I like, because like, as I've grown, because I've been a VFX artist and I was a graphic designer for 4 years before I was a VFX artist, and being on the business, kind of like business side of things, like being the coordinator and everything, I like the idea of being able to find ways for the creative aspects to come back in and to make sure that those are seen and shown in a way, you know what I mean? So like I really enjoy my boss's, like Phil Segrisha's, his position, because he's a director as well as like he was an editor before, so he really gets the style and gets what has to happen with everything, and he's really about making sure that everything is to its best potential and can be as creative yet still tell a story as it can be. And I have a lot of respect for that man.
Wow. I mean, your artistic abilities and your visions, that career path makes so much sense, and we do hope that that's where you wind up, and hopefully sooner than 5 years. Oh my God. Because that is so, it's so hard to do horror without it being cheesy or campy or cliche. And, I mean, it takes a true artist to see it as, and make something pure with it. And you achieve that. And that is something very, very rare. So I really am so proud of you. And I really do encourage everybody to please go to Mary's website and check out her artwork, because talking about it is one thing, experiencing it is a whole other ballgame, and you'll see what we've been talking about. It's incredible. It just needs to be appreciated. Do you have other projects that you'd like to talk about?
I mean, right now I'm doing a couple horror conventions. I'm going to be doing Sinister Creature Con. I have Midsummer Scream coming up. And it was really cool because they reached out to me, which is a first for me.
So you're going to be a guest.
I'm going to be as a guest, but I'll be selling my art there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It'll be awesome.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and then I have books here and there coming out. Other than that, it's just kind of been like freelance and making like animation openings and logos and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's the book I was telling you about. There's the book called Creepy Romance, and it's from this artist here in LA. And what she does is she creates poems, and she chooses 50 artists each year. And she collects 50 artists to come and illustrate them. And so I was in her most recent book, which was pretty awesome. And yeah, you guys should.
Can you show us the picture? Are you allowed to show us the picture?
Yeah, I can show you.
Yeah, the picture is sick. I love it.
So this is the book. But the poem is, if our love ends up 6 feet under, I'll fool myself every day with force-fueled happiness. But every night, as insomnia sets in, I'll find myself tripping over the tombstones of every moment we shared. And so this is the picture that I created with it. Let's see. There we go. But yeah, it's like the creepiness that I like to make. But,
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick trivia question, and the winner will receive this piece. It's called The Hunter's Uniform. It is a piece of plaid china, actually, a broken piece of china that has a plaid pattern on it. So yeah, The Hunter's Uniform. And if you have won something from me in the past 3 months, you cannot play. Rogue, I love you. That means I love you. Okay. So the trivia question is, if you were paying attention to Mary earlier, Mary did not know Mark Sheppard from Supernatural, but she did know who Mark Sheppard was. From what show did Mary know Mark from? And the first person to put that answer in the chat window without any typos, because I'm a grammar Nazi, will receive The Hunter's Uniform. And you forgot Rogue. Oh, my friend Rogue, her name's Mishy. She was at my house yesterday, and you forgot this. I thought I gave you one.
Oh.
Oops. Okay, I'll have to send you one. That's it.
Okay.
Little Pop Workshop nailed it.
Woo!
Doctor
Who.
Who. Yeah, Raven's a big Doctor Who fan.
Woo!
Right? Okay, so Little Pop, I think I have like one of your orders that I haven't shipped out yet, or maybe two I haven't shipped out yet, so I'll include the Hunter's Uniform in your package. Okay. Well done. Well done.
Good game.
Okay. So, are there any charities or causes that are important to you that you champion for?
I'd have to say there are two. It's kind of going a darker route. I'm gonna warn you.
Okay.
RAINN, RAINN, and Joyful Heart Foundation. They're both about sexual assault survivors and making sure that they are taken care of and that they have everything that they need. My aunt is a rape counselor, and about 3 years ago, I was myself sexually assaulted, and so being able to have a place to go to was, being able to go to them was great, and to have someone to talk to, and yeah, so that is what I would love to do, and what I appreciate about Creation Stands is that they go for charities, and they find ways to bring them in some money to put towards stuff, and so I want to do my own way at one point or another for RAINN or Joyful Heart. But yeah.
That's fantastic, because I didn't even realize that organizations like that existed. And offline, you and I should talk, because I would love to do something for them, because I do other fundraising pieces. I do, for Always Keep Fighting, I donate to Right Low on Arms, and for My Hope Chest, Ruth Connell's charity that she champions. I would really like to look into that, because that's something that I think really needs to, especially of late, we've been hearing so much lately that
terrible.
I don't know if it's because people are being more vocal about it, or if it's actually happening more. I don't know, but it's something that I'd really like to.
What happened?
We will talk about it later.
Okay.
And on an up note, Raven's been painting my nails while we're talking.
Nice.
So
they look beautiful, Raven.
Didn't she do an awesome?
I was gonna say, I noticed some color on this hand.
I made a little mess.
You made a little mess. That's okay. You made the mess on the on the paper towel. Okay, so yes, I got 2 different colors going on. Oh, she made a mess on her own finger. That's okay.
And my thumb.
And your thumb. That's awesome. All right, so now I get to ask the question that I ask every guest, and that is, you're stuck on a deserted island.
Ooh.
And you can only have one person as company.
Okay.
And it could be any supernatural character or cast member. And I've had to make this change because everybody was always saying, I want Castiel because he can zap me off the island. No, now this island, I have decided there is a force field around said island, so nobody's powers work.
Okay.
So everybody, even if you're a vampire, you're an angel, you're a demon, you're an archangel, I don't care. You're powerless. You're just, whoever's with you is there purely to keep you amused.
What does amuse mean?
Keep you happy, busy, entertained.
Wow.
All right. Well, obviously, to keep you amused, you're going to have to go with Dean.
Damn straight. There you go.
Exactly. What'd she say?
What did you say?
I said ow.
No. Before you said ow. What did you say when Mary said that Dean
I said that's her favorite.
That's my favorite or her favorite?
Yours.
Oh, my favorite? I could share. That's okay.
My favorite too. I get that.
I think there's enough to go around.
Because, I mean, think about it. He always gets out of a situation, and he almost never needs magic powers or what have you. And he's funny, and, I mean, he's attractive. I mean, come on. Like, if you're going to get deserted, you might as well have everything going on, you know?
I agree. Yeah. I agree 1,000%. And Rogue is saying, well, I wouldn't want Cass to get me off the island, just saying. All right. That's Supernatural After Dark, okay? And And meanwhile, back at the farm. Next question.
Yes.
Finish this sentence. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I was gonna finish reading this, but then Rogue made a comment. Jody, I know who you are cheating on Dean with. Who are you talking about? Who am I cheating on Dean with?
Sam?
Han Solo, maybe? But that's okay. They know about each other. We have an understanding.
You like Han
That's fair.
Solo and Dean.
That's okay because they're practically the same person,
That's very true.
They're not.
right?
No.
Bad boy. Damn
They're
straight the
cheating
bad
on
boy.
Dean.
And you know what? Harrison Ford, damn him. I've never been able to date a nice person ever because of him.
Wait, he's not nice?
Han Solo.
Wait, he's
Han
not
Solo
nice?
ruined me, and that's why
He
I like
does?
Dean. Okay. So anyway, what are you doing? Okay, so now I'm gonna. Okay, so you have to finish this sentence.
Okay.
All you need is
Pie.
quiet, woman.
Pie.
Pie. She is such a girl, isn't she?
What?
But remember, not dog food.
Yes.
Pie.
Dog food. No dog food.
And wow, oh my God, we are almost. It's like 7 minutes to go. I am like, where did this was? I don't know about you. Fast for me.
It was fast.
Not
for me.
me. Bye bye, everybody. Well, I'll be right back.
Don't you threaten me.
Okay.
Bye. Oh God, she left the room. Unbelievable. You know, I have to say, usually when I have an interview, she comes in and she'll say hi and then she'll leave. So she's like into you. She really, there's something about Mary. Yeah, I'll just shut up now. Because Mary hasn't heard that 5,000 times in the past week either.
Oh yeah. You know. You know.
And Anita Gimli, isn't Gimli the dwarf from Lord of the Rings?
He's also my rabbit. So here, I will bring up Gimli.
Oh, that's why she's saying Gimli. Okay. Show me. Mary has a rabbit.
Okay.
Oh no, look at that. Raven.
What?
Look what Mary has. And it's not a little lamb.
He's actually the bunny that inspired Meredith to write a bunny in regarding Dean, because I would bring him in the office all the time.
Yeah. Was he in the episode, or he was the inspiration for it?
He's the inspiration for it.
Oh, how old is he?
About a year. He just likes to snuggle. Yep. This is what happens all day.
Oh, he's so sweet.
He really is.
Raven.
He just likes to be held.
Oh, Raven was begging me for a rabbit for Easter. I'm like, I'd love to, but my cats would eat him.
That's fair. That's a fair thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he a specific breed of bunny, or?
he's a dwarf bunny, which is why I called him Gimli.
That makes sense. Because I just see one word, Gimli. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't he the, yeah, okay. Now I understand. Thank you, Anita. Now we got to see the bunny.
Yes, now we got to see the good dance. All right.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, Meg's the Destroyer. Yeah. I have a cat. I have 3 cats, and one of them is, we named her Maggie, after Maggie from The Walking Dead, but in retrospect, her name should have been Lizzie because she's batshit crazy. But, oh, yeah. But my cat, Maggie is such a character that she actually has her own Twitter account. Her name is Mags the Destroyer.
Obviously, I have to follow Maggie.
Please follow Maggie. She would die. And she's a bit of a snark, but you know, she's a cat. Wow. So, oh wait, here. That's not Maggie.
Maggie wasn't trying.
Oh, Maggie wasn't cooperating. Okay, so this is Jinx.
Oh,
So what you missed was Mary was just explaining. Do you remember the episode regarding Dean where Dean lost his memory and in the beginning he had a bunny when he was lying down in the forest? And they got the idea to do that when Mary brought her bunny in.
Aww.
She would bring him to work, and that's where they got the idea to do that.
That's cute.
Right? And Jinx is cleaning my arm because apparently he feels I don't bathe enough. Right? Stop that. That makes noise. Stop. Every time you make noise, the screen switches to here instead of Mary. Yeah. Yeah, he's licking my arm. Okay. I'm going to bear with this, and then I'm going to ask you, Mary, are there any final words of wisdom you would like to impart upon us?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that it takes a whole team to make a show. I guess I would say that. I know I've gotten lots of questions before on Twitter where people ask me how have I gotten to where I am or how to get to like this stage. And like, I'm only 23 and I am where I am, which is not that bad. And for me, it's kind of go for what you want to do, try as much as you can and as best as you can to get there and find ways to make it work, and don't settle for the worst. Like, don't get in a position where you're somewhere terrible or something terrible is happening to you and you don't do anything. Make like your tattoo. Make the world. Make it how you want. Yeah.
Exactly. Make a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you say that nothing was ever handed to you? I mean, you are where you are now because of, you know, how you've worked and how passionate you are about what you do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's key. You know, I mean, if it's because people ask me that question a lot too. How did you get to where you are now? How are you doing what you're doing now? And it's not so much about opportunity being given to you as much as it is you're making your own opportunities.
Yeah, like you got to work your ass off to get where you want to be. And for me, I am where I want to be, but I also want to continue on and kind of push that more. Okay.
Sorry, that was my medication alarm. That just shows you how old I am.
No.
Oh, stop it. But yeah, like for me, I want to go to more conventions. Like I want to sell my art at conventions, and while at the same time, because for me, I'm slightly a workaholic, and I love the idea of being able to work and do the type of stuff that I enjoy doing right now, and maybe 5 years down the road being the creative executive for a show. But I still want to go to conventions and still make my quote unquote hobby like a reality, and to have everybody else enjoy it as much as I do. But yeah.
That's fantastic. And you will make that happen. That's a given. That's a given. Oh, Willie Whitaker, who is you know Willie, right? He's Ravens and Destiny. Do you know the Whitakers?
I don't think I do. I'm not
okay.
Sure.
They are a lovely family that are very well known on Twitter and on Facebook. They're a big part of the Supernatural family. Okay. And Willie is Raven Whitaker and Destiny Whitaker's dad. And I love him to death. And he's saying great show tonight to you and to me. Thank you, Willie. And what? Are you going to be at ShyCon?
I would like to try to go. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe. The one I know for sure that I'm trying to get my ass to is the Hawaii one. Because that's yes, that's on top of being in Hawaii to where I've never been. That is also my birthday weekend. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I want to try to go to ChiCon, but who knows? The best way, honestly, right now is to kind of force me to go because stuff is so busy. Is like if I was like at a panel or something, honestly. But because it's for me, because then I could be like, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to.
I got a thing.
I got a thing I gotta go do. Like compared to now, where people could be like, you know, like continue working. Be like, okay.
Oh man.
So maybe I'll let you all know.
Well, hopefully, I'll see you before Hawaii. We've got Phoenix, we've got New Orleans, we've got Pittsburgh. I don't know if I'm saying in order, but all those other places.
ChiCon's when again?
ShyCon is July something, right? You guys?
July 14 through 16.
July 14 through 16. July 14 through 16. My husband keeps track of my conventions on his wall because I can't.
No.
I'm clueless.
Mom?
It's the same weekend. No, it's not. Comic-Con? Comic-Con's the week after, right?
Are you talking about Dragon Con?
No. Comic-Con.
No.
I think that's the week after, right? I'm not entirely sure. Because I know I'm going to Comic-Con. I'll be at Comic-Con. I'll be at Comic-Con, and then I have Midsummer Scream, which is the week after Comic-Con. And for post, we come back July 2nd to start working for season 13. So it's kind of those things where it's like, guys, I gotta go do a thing, or else they're gonna be like, no, like you. I gotta go. But yeah, and then there also might be the chance that I might be going up and shadowing one of our directors to go see how that is, which would be got stuff going on.
That is so cool. Oh my god. Are you allowed to say which director you're gonna shadow?
If any, it would probably be Phil.
Oh. Do you hear this? That's so cool. Wait a minute. I just have one last question because someone asked a really good one here.
Yeah.
And why are you okay. My screen froze, so it won't let me scroll up. But if I remember the question correctly, on a scale of 1 to 10, how jacked up is the season finale? 1 being you could deal, 10 with go get a therapist. Are you allowed to say?
I would say 7, 8-ish.
Okay, so we should at least be perusing the yellow pages for potential therapy sessions.
Yes.
Potential therapy-inducing
Especially
episodes.
because we have it's like a 2-hour finale. So like you're getting 22 and 23 together. So it's gonna be double. It's quite, how I would put it is, because somebody asked me this, they're like, am I gonna need all the tissue boxes in the world? And I was like, no, it's gonna be, I would say personally, but at the same time, I've seen the episode like 7 times. It's gonna be intense. I would say more intense than emotional. That's all I can say.
Okay. We will still keep in mind that we might need therapy. Some of us are of not as strong stuff as, yeah. And on that note, we're going to go buy all the tissues and buy all the therapists and Prozac and stuff. And oh, well, I want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me and my lovely audience. And
of course,
this was so much fun.
This was
and was it really fun? You just saying that to make me feel better?
No, I loved it, and it went so fast.
It did go fast, right?
Yeah.
She says, "Yeah." Like, what?
Your nails over there.
You are part of the supernatural family. We are all part of the supernatural family. Who created it? The Kripke. The Kripke. The Eric Kripke. He is the man who created Supernatural. Stop tearing paper. I love you. Okay. Meanwhile, I can't multitask for shit, can I?
That's fine. That's fine.
But again, thank you so much. It was such a joy to get to talk to you and to get to learn more about what you do and how you help make the show just an amazing experience for all of us. We appreciate you and all of your hard work.
No.
And yeah. And thank you for being so patient. And and we will. And with that, I am going to take us not live anymore. We're going to stop this broadcast and cut everybody's suffering down to a minimum. Thank you all for watching, and the video should be uploading very soon for those who cannot watch it live, so spread the word and go see MaryManchin.com, MaryManchin.com, and you will be blown away. Bye!
Bye!